our system works that in the lesson you learn and you play better by the minute, right there, not with homeworks. Like, of course, we leave also a homework for the student. They have recorded that videos, you know, what they are doing at a certain point every week on a weekly basis. But we have homework, but we are not saying, let's say, any other method how they work. I know it because I also was learning in the school, and when I went to the school of that, you are confronted with the fact that you go to a guitar class, to a lesson, and then they said, this is what is to be done, here is the partiture, here is the tab, here is that, and then you do it later. So their job as a teacher is very easy that way, because that's not the best way for the student. There are two things: or you take the hardship yourself, or the burden, let's say, or the student has to take it. And then most of the times, all this method doesn't work because they tell you later that are based on promises, on false promises, right? And they are not doing it. They said later you will play it well, later you will learn it, you learn it next week, next month, next day. But that's not true. You have to be learning the stuff right there. If you can play, if I tell you in Skype, play this thing, and then you struggle, say, do an effort to do it, but you can do it, say, 50% there, right? Even if there are small mistakes or anything, that's normal, but you try to get the material right there in the lesson, then you are really improving right now. Like, it's a present thing. It's true. But if we think this is this, and then, oh, no problem, you play very badly now, but don't worry, you practice this and hopefully you get clear of it. No, that doesn't work. That's an imagination. It's a fake promise. Actually, look, like, for example, say if you owe me $100, and then I said, okay, give me 20 now. Give me something right now. So the material should be harnessed in the lesson, not after. After the lesson, whatever you do not learn in the lesson when you are there, it's not going to happen later. There are no miracles. People think that there is a miracle happening after the lesson. After the lesson doesn't happen anything miraculous. The only miracle is that we continue struggling and trying to play it. And because we get with the right pleasure from it. That's why. So this is the only miracle. But besides that, you are not going to play later the material because later you start. No. You have to understand the things right there. And also that's the way, because your question also is that why I became like not confident by learning these other methods there, mostly one-on-one or other DVD methods, or what to speak of this do-it-yourself and be confused for everything. But that's what you're saying, that you became insecure, like kind of not confident enough on you. This happened to everyone. We can have a doubt about if some passage is properly played, or if this is the right technique or not, or the right sound. But this can be a paranoid feeling, or something dysfunctional, or maybe something constructive also. The very same thought or criteria to evaluate how you're playing. So it's okay that we kind of question, well, this can be played better or that, and then next week I will play it better. That's okay. But I want you to show me right now in Skype, when we are in a lesson, you show me right there what you can do. Because if I see a small amount of result, then it means when you practice that, it will become a huge advancement for you, right? But if it's not right there, and then it's just a promise that later we will do it, later we will do it. It's like, let's say, if Obama is saying, I will end the war. Yeah, next month I will call out the troops. I will take away the army from such and such place. But I don't know much about politics, but some friends told me this thing that he keeps saying, I will stop war and I will take the army off and all that, and he's not doing it. But he has years saying it and promising it. So it's just like fake politicians' promises. These promises of the teachers on those methods will tell you, you study this, I teach you that, and then this is your material, you do it as homework, and then you will be good. That's another politician's promise. Same thing, same emptiness it has. So our method, that's why we need the Skype thing. Because in the Skype we make sure there that you are understanding, having a very clear picture of what you're going to practice. That also because repetition counts. And therefore, if you repeat 5 times something wrong, the 6th time you play it, it's prone to be wrong also. Therefore, we have to avoid that. Those are the obstacles in the learning process. So it's all based on the present. CFG programs. I would study programming in Skype. And therefore, of course, I don't mean that the student should do 100% of the material right there in the lesson. And in fact, by the way, and this is your second question, what's the difference between beginner, advanced, and intermediate? Beginners, advanced student means that I say, do this thing. In Skype, suppose I said, play this scale, play this and that, and this chord. And then they do it. There is no gap between what is supposed to be played and they playing it. In intermediate level, there is a small gap because they do an effort, they try to do it, but there are some aspects which may be improved or are not totally right. It's kind of thing that's intermediate. And in beginners, there is a bit more of a gap. So when I tell you do something there in Skype, and if you're struggling, no, it doesn't matter. That's what is making you play better. Because when you try to do it and it's not there, something comes there, and then you pull up the level, you stretch your capacity maximum, and in the brain, even now it's proven this in quantum mechanics and how the brain works, this thing that when you learn new stuff, other cells develop new connections and that, so you stretch your capacity there to try to play it, and then that's making you better right there, not in the future, not tomorrow or the next week, the next month, no, it's happening right there. And therefore, that's why this is the only method, I think, at least in flamenco guitar, which is based on the present. And this future, imaginary future thing, this is a fairy tale, and that's not true. It's not going to happen. You have to learn it right there. And of course, you will not play perfect stuff there, but at least 20% of the thing has to be there. Otherwise, it is not going to happen there by miracles. So, I hope this answered your question. Thank you, and I see you next time.